Hi, it is the human operating system time. So today I'd like to share with you on something which is really critical in Wing Chun. It is extremely critical, and it is proven if we don't know this, we are going to get into trouble. So in the past 3 days, I have discussed with many of our Wing Chun friends from Asia, and the discussions is about the internal Wing Chun, in Wing Chun internal training, the techniques of Wing Chun, all kinds of stuff. And that is critical point what we need to know, which is the ancient know where today we already lost it in general. Okay. So I like to start with this. Today, if you live in Silicon Valley like me, you can see different company, high-tech company, testing their self-driven car, self-driving car. Okay, so the car can drive itself in the highway. It powered by artificial intelligence. You can see they do experiment in highway and so forth. Now, for a self-driven car with artificial intelligence, we can see there's two parts of that. One is they have massive sensor around the car. They can have motion sensor, infrared sensor, and they even get signal from the GPS and so forth. So there's the sensor part. So practically they know the environment. Okay, and then that will be a software or the artificial intelligence algorithm within the car, so that the artificial intelligence algorithm or the software be able to take the data from the sensor and then to provide a solutions to drive that car at all conditions. Okay, ideally at all conditions you want that. Now, so you have a sensor part to detect or to sense, to know the car in front of you, car on the side, where are you driving, the road conditions, it's raining, is not raining, all kinds of stuff. And then you have the artificial intelligence algorithm within that to learn about things and then to drive the car. Okay? Just use this analogy to Wing Chun. Okay? So in the ancient, the sensor and sensing part is the awareness part. Awareness. Okay? The algorithm, how to drive the car according to the situations, when they come up with the solutions, that is the idea and intention part. So the idea is the nim tao, the intention is the yi part. Okay, so you have the awareness part, which is the sensor part, and this artificial intelligence part, which is going to do all kinds of stuff to accord to whatever the car sensing. Okay. Now, if you look into today's so-called internal, and a lot of Chinese martial art claim to the internal, guess what? That is a missing of the awareness part. So when you're missing the awareness part, it's like those people who try to develop the artificial intelligence driven car by assumption. They don't have the sensor, they do not know what happened out there, they're just sitting in their office typing their software whatever they like. Well, this become a disaster because the car have no idea what is going on surround the car, the situation, the street conditions, the weather. It have no idea of it. So it just have to follow whatever the assumption the designer or the software designer or the artificial intelligence algorithm designer assume. Well, that is the problem for today's majority of Chinese martial art when they deal with internal. Okay? Well, demonstration is fine, is good, is great. Okay, internal demonstration, you see, you know, all kinds of internal art demonstrations. One guy push 10 guys. What is that the same? Well, that's just similar to you got a car in the showroom, okay? A showroom. In the showroom, you demo, oh, you know, the model car, be able to do this and that in the showroom, okay? Under the conditions, well-planned conditions by the guy who set up the showroom. Okay? That's just what we call a concept car. You put that car into the street, you don't take 5 seconds, that damn thing is going to crush. Okay? So if you look at this analogy of the artificial intelligence self-driven car, you got a lot of majority of the traditional Chinese so-called internal art today is doing exactly that showroom artificial intelligence car. It's not going to work. Why? Because it has no sensor. Okay? One can keep have this yi, okay, or intention, or the mind power, mindful, all everything. But you know what, sir? There is no awareness there. Never been trained to aware. It's just like the artificial intelligence car, where you have never placed a motion sensor, a thermal sensor. You never have those sensors. So how is that thing going to work? So, as I have already summarized it in the 613, 6 core element and 13 state. Those are minimum in the ancient. Okay, I don't create those things. I sum it and just present in today's language. Okay. You need to know about your physical body, your 7 bowls, okay, or the states of the 7 bowls. You need to know about your mind, or there's awareness, there's intention, there is the visualization, there's the thinking, those stuff. You need to know the breathing state. You need to know the energy state. One need to know the strength, how to use the strength state, and the momentum. Well, what is the difference with this artificial intelligence, self-different technology? Nothing. What a car need to know is gas. So you want to talk about qi, the car need to know how much gas it have left in the car so it can drive, how many miles. You have to be able to calculate that. Okay. The car has to know the shock absorber. You need to know the physical element. The car has to know the momentum. It need to know how fast it can go. Well, those are just basic. The car need to know how much strength, how much load it be able to carry. Those are just 6 core element 13 state. Okay? So 6 core element 13 state is the basic state. Put it this way. In ancient traditional Chinese martial art, those who is good at their art, they don't have to call it 613, 6 core element 13, because I coined that thing. But they know all this, and even more state, because when they want to handle their momentum, they have even much more state, and when they get more and more advanced, they can handle the details. It's in much more state. Okay? This is the reality. So it is a kiss of death if we do not have the awareness of the 613, 6 core element 13 state. So that's why in the weekend, everybody talk about this technique, that techniques, this mind power, this qi, this jing. I look at that and say, oh my God. Why I tell everybody? It doesn't work. Why it doesn't work? That's the same exactly like the 2 years ago when the internal art guy in China get taken down by the MMA player. You can look at that. The first few seconds, the internal player, the Tai Chi practitioner, he cannot handle the momentum. And while the MMA guy, you know he's trained, well trained and aware of all the situations. And that's why he just go in with the massive momentum, he just take the thing over. So the same thing. You say, well, you know, I want to chi sao or push hand. Well, that's great. So it's just like if your car have a motion sensor. Okay? But if your eyes cannot sense the momentum, well, it's like you don't have a GPS and you have no idea of where you are and how is the car come at you at the distance. You have to have the predict, you know. If you want to rely on, or you know, just have to sense it in the really close range, well, momentum, you might be too late. Okay? So it is actually doesn't make much sense to say, well, you know, Wing Chun is about chi sao, you blindfold, you chi sao. You might not be able to process whatever coming at you. If that thing is too fast, it's just like the example of the MMA Xi Xiaodong beat the Wei Lei of Tai Chi 2 years ago. When the momentum shoot in, okay, you say, well, I push hand. You can see Wei Lei push hand all day long. But can you take that impact, the impulse? Do you have time to process your body to handle the momentum? It's like exactly like a self-driven car of the artificial intelligence. 100 feet away, what happened? 50 feet away, what happened? If we don't have anything, information 100 feet away, and we only can take care of something which is 10 feet away, well, forget about it. You're going to get crushed because that thing can come so fast. Okay? So this is critical, and awareness. You need to have awareness of the 6 core elements and the 13 that you have to have it. Otherwise, we stand there, we don't even know that our stand causing us not be able to breathe. We're going to play wooden dummy and we are not even aware that our handling of body doesn't make sense because we need to close in. And we don't. We just stand outside there, mimic techniques. Okay? So I try to make things easy for everybody, provide a solution, which is, that's why, you know, my book, the Basics Wing Chun Queen Art and Science, I put the 613.3 there. Okay? And for those who is interested, very little people who they train with my 613.3 class, so they know what it is. It is a completely different paradigm, because now you are implanted with this awareness, this sensor, like the car right now. You suddenly you put all the you place all the sensor for the car, and then the artificial intelligence software can work according to the whatever's coming. We know exactly what happened. Instead of close ourselves within the car, have no sensor, and keeping thinking, oh, if you come this way, I'll do this, you come, and we always missing something. Either you're missing the speed of the momentum, or you're missing the handling of the own shock absorber, and all kinds of stuff. And while there's no end to it, you cannot solve things that way. So is there any wrong with the Nim Tao or Yi? Why nothing wrong with it? It's like the AI, artificial intelligence algorithm. You need everything to solve problem. But at first you need to see what's coming at the car. So this is to share with you today. Okay, think about it. I don't want to be right. I don't want to be grandmaster. I want this to be, we look at it, this is a science, this is a technology. It is a technology. And as few days ago, I showed the internal development with the heartbeat profile and everything. I have all kinds of different watch, new style watch here. Why? Because I want to get it to the place that it's like the artificial intelligence car. All of this is sensor. You don't want to trust me. I don't want you to trust me. I want to transfer to those stuff. The 613.3, yes, you got the heart rate sensor, so you can sense the first 4 core elements. Okay, heart rate profile with the heart rate variability and so forth. Heart rate is the biomarker even in hospital, right? And then you can have motion sensor. Yes, because we do have the motion sensor, we can sense how much the force of the impact. It is available today. That's why I have all this thing playing with all these gadgets, because in very close future, actually today we have it already. Just get this, you can have the sensor of the first 4 core elements, and then if you get one of this motion sensor, like the one which you're using for striking the back, you can cover the 6 core element. Okay, so investigate in it. Okay, don't take my words.